Hey, everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What is shaking on your hump day? We here at the Tom Gully Show hope that you are receiving the full, total, and complete amount of hump that you so desperately crave and you so rightfully deserve. Tonight, we're going to tell you all about gerbils. A little disclaimer, I hate gerbils. Deep and abiding hatred. I can't stand gerbils. The Doctor is here. He says, Gully heads, assemble. I love the Gully heads assemble. Rumple Trenchcoat says, I like to pretend Hannibal changed his name to Banachek to hide from the military. Hey, Rumpled, guess what? Guess who has all of the episodes of Banachek? And I believe, I'm not mistaken, this may just be the pilot, but it might have been the title for a short period of time. Banachek, A Cool Million. There we go. I'm loving Banachek. By the way, like, share, subscribe, notification bell, retweet, all that stuff you can do for free that serves the almighty algorithm, the all-powerful algorithm. And then we do have super chats. We do have memberships. Our goal, as it is every show, is any amount of money, but please turn on your gifted memberships. People do gift memberships in here, and if you're turned on to receive one, you'll get one. There you go. There you go. Oh, by the way, today's shirt and collar. I knew somebody was going to go straight here. So, Richard Gere, we may talk about that in a little while. I'm now officially jealous. Terry Nee shattered once again. Now, Terry Nee, let's just not beat around the bush here. Yesterday took care of all of next week's $1 donations out of hilarity. But he has shattered our goal of any amount of money with $1. So today's caller. Now, I don't think anybody, and I mean anybody, that currently watches and listens to this show has been doing it long enough to remember the original Tom Gully Show logo. This was the logo for the first 5 or 6 years of the show, I think. The logo that we have now has been around for quite a while. It's 7, 8, 9, 10 years. But this was the first logo. There we are. Dun, 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 dun. But look at the collar. By the way, this shirt was created in 2007. So that would make it, 17 years old. 17 years old. And look at the collar and look at this shirt. And by the way, this was a digitally printed sample. So anyway. Yeah, Richard Gere, we may get to that. But Terry Nee, thank you for the $1. I appreciate it. And by the way, still hilarious. I thought there was one other related item I had that did not involve gerbils, but I can't remember what it was now. But it was probably something really good. Oh, I can tell you this. My StreamYard, for the second time in a number of days here, is telling me that my upload speed is not 100%. And that, okay, now it is. Okay, now it's not again. And that is particularly concerning to me because I pay a lot of money to my internet provider so that I have lightning upload speed to the internet. Lightning. Like 10 times faster than I need it to be. So thank you, StreamYard. Appreciate that. Doctor says, so in case anybody missed it, Tom takes great care of his clothing. Well, I would say, Dr. that's part of it. The other part of it is to have so many T-shirts that you don't have to wear them very often. You wear them a couple of times a year, and that's it. And that's it. But I tell you what, this streaming speed thing is really bugging me. Because it gives you this little bandwidth thing like you get with Wi-Fi. And it's 1, 2, or 3 waves. And it goes down to 1, and then and so now we're fine. but it's bugging me. It's bugging me. And yeah, I do. I take care of some of my clothing. What's the line? It's from Open Range or something. Tom's not one to give up on a garment. I remember the year was 2002. I was living in Naples, Florida. And this is when I was dating the smoking hot girl across the way, the hallway, whatever it was, breezeway. And she was substantially younger than me and smoking hot. And so we, if you open the door to my condo, it faced the door to her condo. So both of our doors were just open all day long. We were just living together for I don't know how long. And one day we were in where my closet was, and I had just a staggering amount of clothes. And she just started going through them and went, yeah, we're going to have to get rid of a whole bunch of these. Started going through them. I'm like, well, I can still wear this. She's like, no, this looks like hell. Yeah, yes, you've taken good care of it, but it is hideous. Get rid of it. So probably we got rid of half of my clothes. And that girl, she could have said, I'm burning all of these clothes, and I wouldn't have cared. Clothes were not all that necessary in that relationship anyway. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think she's now the age that I was when we were dating. Hump day. Another big hump day. You made it. You're over halfway finished. Okay, 2 more days and it's the weekend. It is the weekend. So you're almost there. Good news. It's very, very good news. I don't know how many of you had gerbils. But before I open my thing, I might as well just tell you. Gerbils to me are nasty, smelly. Well, they're rodents. They're rats with a better press agent. And why someone would invite them into their house, or as Terry Nee brings up, one of the cavities of their body, I really don't know. I remember there were kids when I was growing up that had habit trails that took up half of their bedroom. I mean, went up to the ceiling and around and back under the bed and back up to the top. And I don't care how big you build a habit trail. I don't care how many times or with what kind of cleanser you wash the habit trail. It will smell faintly of urine, and sometimes not as faintly, for as long as you have it. Yeah. Doctrine says gerbils have a purpose. Gator bait. I guess, man. SG Fanboy asks, has anyone ever heard the Stephen Lynch song, Gerbil? I don't think I have. Rumple Trenchcoat said, I had a gerbil as a kid because my allergies kept me from having a hamster. I'm about to tell you all about gerbils, and I couldn't tell you the difference between a gerbil and a hamster. I would like to know, real quickly before we get into tonight's topic, who's hotter? Who is hotter? Marilyn Monroe on the beach, Tom Gully, or roller derby queen, Tom Gully? Just looking for your opinions before we open up our thing for tonight's thing opening. Old Tom Gully show logo. Kind of a cool logo, really. It's the throwback logo. I should probably just go ahead and make these available as well. Kind of a, Rumble Trenchcoat says, a squirrel is a rat with a good tailor. Man, squirrels, I remember when I was a kid, we had squirrels in our neighborhood, but they were really skittish. Squirrels ain't skittish anymore. They will walk up to your back door, eat all the cat food, flip you off, crap in your pool. I mean, they're just not scared anymore. SG Fanboy says, when they first brought ball pythons over from Africa, people would feed them gerbils because they wouldn't eat rats or mice. Well, ball pythons have been known to be finicky eaters for quite some time. Doctrine said, auto Photoshop work is always SG. Yes, SG, that's very good work. SG Fanboy says, I'm a sucker for Scarlet Gully myself. I don't have Scarlet loaded right now, unfortunately. Let's see. Rumpel says, I got to go with roller derby, Tom, but I feel like I just fell for some kind of deep trap answering that. Sorry. No, I'm partial to roller derby girl too. But I think that's probably because it's got a better shot of the front. Randy Ramos, the chef, is in a hall. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I just, sorry. Yeah. I'm going to blow your mind here right out of the gate. Because incidentally, right now, I'm about to tell you. Okay, so behind me tonight, there's a whole bunch of gerbils together. And then there's just the singular gerbil here. The thing that you've been calling a gerbil and the thing that I've been calling a gerbil, although these many years, is actually the Mongolian gerbil. Or the Mongolian jerd, but we're not going to get into the whole jerd thing. Jerd's a gerbil. It's the same thing. And so the body size of a gerbil is about 4.5 inches long with about a 4 3/4 inch tail. So it's actually a tail about as long as its body, and a body weight of about 2 to 4.5 ounces, with, like so many species of animals, the adult males being larger than females. Now, gerbils are not as much as they used to be, but they still are used for science and research. But the big thing now is they're kept as small house pets. Their use in science for experimentation dates back to the latter half of the 19th century. But this is going to blow your mind. Gerbils only started being kept as pets in the English-speaking world in 1954. So gerbils haven't been around that long as pets, really. And that's when they were brought to the United States. So, and the use of them scientifically has fallen out of favor. But I think that's true of most animals. I think during the 80s and 90s, there was a big push to quit using animals for laboratory experimentation, particularly the kind that kills the animal or tortures it. Your fashion industry was at the forefront of that, by the way. Things that made eyeliner and lipstick and shampoo, yeah, those were the things. The lab work on that killed a lot of animals. The very first known mention of gerbils, and this is amazing to me, came in 1866. And I know that seems like a long time ago, but for the existence of an animal species, that's really recently. Uh-oh, hold on. He's early today. Wow, maybe he's on the other end of the block or something. I don't know. So they were mentioned in 1866 by Father Armand David, who sent actual gerbils, which he called yellow rats, to the French National Museum of Natural History in Paris. And these were from northern China. And they were given a scientific name in 1867. Now, there's a misconception about the scientific name. I'm not going to get into it. They were kind of named by after some characters in the Iliad by Homer, but not really. It's a long story and it's really boring. Oh, boy. Mongolian gerbils, when they're not in a habit trail, inhabit grassland, shrubland, desert, and a lot of places in China, Mongolia, and in Russia. They do well in places that are sandy, covered with grasses, herbs, shrubs, and in a temperate climate. Okay, so in the wild, gerbils live in patriarchal groups, generally consisting of one parental pair, the most recent litter, and maybe a few older offspring. Sometimes the dominant female sister lives with them. I don't know what that is other than just, the penalty you pay for being a male gerbil. Only dominant females will produce offspring. And they will mostly mate with one dominant male in these little groups. So all the rest of the males are just standing around going, Female gerbils are generally more loyal than male gerbils as a pet. And one group of gerbils in the wild covers an area. They live in an area of about 1,500 square yards. They don't go any further than that. They live in burrows, like a central burrow with, get this, 10 to 20 exits. Okay? Now, the deeper the burrow is, the less exits there will be. Sometimes the burrows from different patriarchal families are connected, but not always. The gerbils have a long history of use in scientific research, but these days, they are rarely, if ever, used. For example, in 2017 in the United Kingdom, 300 Mongolian gerbils were used in experiments compared to 2 million mice. So the mice genocide continues. This is, if you're interested, most gerbils used in scientific research are derived from the Tumblebrook Farm strain. It's a special breed. Gerbils actually have an incredibly wide hearing range. They can detect foot drumming to very high-pitched chirps. So their model of hearing loss is very close to humans, much closer than mice or rats, and that's why they were used in experiments for hearing. There's a bunch of, there's a cute little fellow right there. There he is. There that little guy is. Whole bunch of gerbils dumped into a deep fryer. Discuss. Male gerbils can produce ultrasonic sounds with frequencies ranging from 25 to 35 kilohertz. The human ear can hear from about 25 kilohertz to, I think, 25,000. They have a much more evolved larynx than other rodents and blah, blah, blah. 10 to 20% of gerbils exhibit spontaneous epileptic seizures, typically in response to stressors like handling or cage cleaning. Epilepsy in gerbils has a genetic basis, and seizure-resistant lines of gerbils have been bred, but that's why a lot of kids with their gerbil would just like freak out and just sudden death. Well, that's what that is. Like other desert rodents, such as fat sand rats, the Mongolian gerbils are susceptible to diet-induced diabetes. So you got to watch what you feed them. There you go. Laboratory gerbils are derived from a very small number of founders, like parents. So because of that genetic lack of diversity, some of the results that you get from those lab rats that are bred in a laboratory are not as accurate as they should be because they don't represent a full population of well-rounded genetic samples. So, yeah. Male gerbils become sexually mature after 80 days. Females, 50 days. Yeah, there you go. So they're getting busy pretty quick. Mongolian gerbils, within scientific terms, are regarded as monogamous. However, in laboratory tests regarding sexual reproduction, there have been many documented signs of promiscuity and mating with other females on the part of the males, while their monogamous partner is not in the laboratory setting. So the second their main squeeze leaves, gerbils. Gerbils are very selective when it comes to picking out a mate for, the average litter size for the Mongolian gerbil is like 4 to 8 pups. If the litter contains only 1 to 2, then the mother will neglect them and they will die from starvation. They partner for life. When their mate dies, many gerbils refrain from seeking other mates to reproduce with. Male gerbils generally will find a new mate, where the females tend to not do that. When older females lose their mate, they almost always stop reproducing. So there you go. Gerbils are social animals. They live in groups in the wild. They rely on their sense of smell to identify other members of their clan. Gerbils are known to attack and often kill those with an unfamiliar scent. Groups of gerbils often have a dominant gerbil, which may bully the others by humping them. Yeah. As pets, gerbils are a gentle and, for the most part, a hardy animal. For instance, this one here is destroying a roll of toilet paper. That's another great thing about gerbils. They chew a bunch of crap up in your house. I just no need for them. I can almost smell the urine from that gerbil in his cage, chewing that toilet paper up. So they're very popular as small house pets. It was first brought from China to Paris in the 19th century, and it became a popular house pet there because, the French are constantly doing really smart things that help out the rest of the world. Marcel, we will have this very annoying, smelly house pet. It will catch on overseas. Mon ami. It was brought to the United States, and it's just so people that have gerbils for this to even be a known fact. It was brought to the United States in 1954 by Dr. Victor Schwenker. Schwenker, for use in research. Dr. Schwenker soon recognized their potential as pet animals. Selective breeding for the pet trade has resulted in a wide range of different color and pattern varieties. Gerbils became popular pets in the U.S. in the late 50s and were imported to the United Kingdom in 1964, where they became popular pets as well. And they're now found every pet shop in the UK and the US. Now, due to the threat that they pose to indigenous ecosystems and existing agricultural operations, it's illegal to purchase, import, or keep a gerbil as a pet in the state of California. It's also illegal to import the animal into New Zealand or Australia. So there you go. Gerbils are typically not aggressive. They rarely bite unprovoked or without stress. They're small, easy to handle, sociable. They enjoy the company of humans and other gerbils. I enjoy the company of humans and other gerbils. There you go. Enjoying the company of humans right there. Gerbils have also adapted their kidneys to produce a minimum of waste to conserve bodily fluids, which makes them very clean. Gerbils have many different aesthetic coat patterns, such as pied slate, described below. Gerbils do have health concerns. The misalignment of their teeth is a big one. Most of the injuries and health problems that gerbils have are a result of being dropped. And the hamster ball, or the wheel or whatever, can actually cause a lot of injuries to gerbils. Broken bones and fractured spines and all sorts of other stuff. Neglect is another giant problem. I mentioned the epilepsy. Tumors are fairly common in the little nasty creatures. They can also lose their tails. Let's see here. The most common infectious disease in gerbils is Tyser's disease, a bacterial disease which produces symptoms like ruffled fur, lethargy, hunched posture, poor appetite, diarrhea, often death, and it quickly spreads between gerbils in close proximity. Gerbils also have inner ear problems, which may cause them to lean to one side. And who wants a gerbil that's leaning to one side? Nobody. That's who. I could get into the captive bred gerbils and the selective breeding, and there's 20 different coat color, the fat-tailed gerbil, and all sorts of stuff. I'm not gonna. It's too boring. There is a long-haired mutation of the gerbil, which is hideous to look at, and you wouldn't want to. And that's really all I have to tell you about gerbils. And what more would you want to know? I hate gerbils. I really do. Gerbils and rabbits. They're the same thing. One's just bigger than the other. They're just kangaroo rat in the house. There we go. SG Fanboy says, I think I made a Betty Page Tom once too. I can't remember. They all blend together at this point. You did make a Betty Page Tom. You did. But I've got all my visuals loaded. I can't load anymore right this second. Hail Chef. The doctrine says gerbils don't stick around for long either. No, they are not a turtle or a cat or a dog. Rumpled Trenchcoat says the ice cream truck is leading an army of gerbils to your house. He's probably dipping them in chocolate and freezing them. The wolf said, I had a hamster. I don't think I can think of a person on Earth. I mean, the last person on Earth I would have suspected of having a hamster is the wolf. What happens in labs stays in labs. Yeah. There's a really great ad back then. It was a monkey with like its skull cap removed and all these electrodes in it. And it's looking terrified, obviously. And the headline was, imagine leaving your body to science while you're still in it. And it was all about those fashion companies using animals for testing. The wolf says, Rumpled, what happens in Vegas labs stays in Vegas labs. Hey, Randy made some of them fancy pizzas today. I bet you did. Rumpled Trenchcoat says, yes, Wolf, not only do they cheat when the wife's away, they'll lose their litter's college fund. I even hate that little kibble that they give you to feed them. Remember those little black little cylinders, little small? There is Gerbils Anonymous. Hi, I'm Steve. I'm a gerbil owner. SG Fanboy says, Jesus, these poor little creatures are sickly. Yeah, they are. Karen Garvey says, hello, Tom and chat. Wolf, how old were you when you had a hamster? Great question, Karen Garvey. SG Fanboy said, Sis always had hamsters as a kid. They were cool, but I wanted a lizard or a snake more than anything. I had to settle for frogs. Yeah, there was always those kids, and this was big in junior high, that either had a lizard, a snake, or a tarantula. And those were the kids. Whoa, man, that's so cool. And one of my friends, close friends, was a tarantula kid. And he would take it and let it climb on him. He always wanted to let it climb on me. I'm like, no, I'm good. But that was when I just believed, the Brady Bunch Tiki episode, that tarantulas, one bite and they would kill you forever. I didn't realize that tarantulas rarely, if ever, kill a human. Spiders can have fun. Yeah, I'm not a big spider fan. But there's only like one really super poisonous tarantula, I think. And it's not common. But even so, who wants one of them big ass? No. Not the wolf, but Reverend Wild Bill has a tarantula. Cleopatra. The wolf says, I found one on top of a trash can abandoned in the cold. I was 28. Wow. The wolf at 28. Gently nursing a hamster back to health. You can just see him, his big muscle building body, just eye-dropping concentrated milk into the gerbil's mouth. The hamster wolf? I know, I thought he was talking about a tarantula at first. I don't know what he was talking about. All I know is it's Wednesday. Tomorrow is overrated, underrated, which is... It's the internet sensation that's sweeping the nation. It really is. We've already... Oh, by the way, like, share, subscribe, notification bell, retweet. All this stuff you can do for free. Helps us with the almighty algorithm. And then we'd have super chats and memberships if you want to do those things. But please turn on your gifted memberships in case somebody gives some. We've already shattered our goal today. Terry Nee, our goal, of course, every day is any amount of money. Terry Nee has shattered that goal with a $10 donation. Oh, my God. And then Rumper Trenchcoats with a very, very generous $10 donation. Thank you. My parents got us a couple of gerbils, specifically made the clerk check to make sure they were both the same sex. 2 weeks later, we found out if they were. Both were pregnant females. Dad was not pleased. Oh, man. I can imagine. We didn't bargain for 15 gerbils. Well, wait. What did they say? It was the 4 to 8. You could add 16 gerbils. But thank you again, Rumple Trenchcoat. I appreciate that. That's very, very kind of you. The wolves say, I had 2 giant cages and many tubes. I used to race it by running my hand along the tubes and the hamster chased it. Yeah. My brother's cat used to chase, those laser pointers? Make a red dot on the floor or run it up the wall or something. The cat used to try so hard to catch it. And you could make it go in a circle a whole bunch of times, and the cat would just sit there and spin. And then you turn it off, and the cat tried to walk and would walk sideways into the wall. It's good times. Karen Garvey says, Wolf, that is so sweet. Rumpled Trenchcoat says, it was wild. Here are your 2 gerbils, kids. Oh, and here's your 14 gerbils, kids. Well, maybe you just give them out to the other kids in the neighborhood or sell them to a Chinese restaurant. Yeah, that would be. And those babies breed pretty fast. I don't know. Their life expectancy is Not long. It's like the goldfish that you win at the carnival. You know, you can go and you can get a bowl and water and all that stuff. That sumbitch is going to be dead in 30 days. Guaranteed. I don't care how good you take care of it. I don't care if you go get a tank. It's not going to live very long. And then, I'm curious about this too. Karen Garvey asked, Rumpled, what did you do with all the gerbils? What did you do with all the gerbils? Again, I'd like to point out, 17-year-old shirt. Look at the collar. The collar's really my thing. I hope you guys mention that when it comes up. In other shows. The Wolf says, Dupa, they only last about 3 years, then they die. It had a good 3 years. We had parakeets. Maybe they were budgies. I don't know. They weren't mine. They were my brother's. And we got home from church or somewhere one time, the family did. And one of them was on the bottom of the cage, just, you know. And that was the one that would, there was one that was really good. It was really well behaved, but that was the one that would fly all over the house when you let it out. And the other one would like land on your finger and do all these. This one just flew around the house and crapped on things. So, you know, I wasn't that upset, and it would bite too. That one was a biter. I wasn't upset when that one, you know. Oh God, they made noise at all the most inopportune times. In movies, you were trying to watch a movie, and making you just be like, shut up. SG Fanboy says, my fire-bellied toads were cool. I lost one cleaning the cage once. Found it a few years later under my bed, all dried out. Yeah, there's nothing worse than that. In Texas here, we use the AC a lot. And it doesn't get cold for that long, but one of the places that bugs can go to sort of try to get out of the elements is in your AC unit and then the ductwork, okay? So that when the hot weather comes and you turn your AC on and it starts blowing, they'll come out through the, and I swear to God, this one time, it was this big, okay? This big. And I found it in one of my shoes, all dried out. It was not a good day. Not a good day. Rumble Trenchcoat says, we gave them away to anyone who wanted them. I'm pretty sure they didn't go to any snake owners, but I try not to think about it too much. You know, it's the life of a gerbil, I guess. Well, that was weird. Yeah, you find all sorts of things all dried out. When I was living in Tampa, man, I don't care how good the seal to your door is in Tampa. Geckos will find their way in. And so I would either find them in my apartment, like in the toilet, drowned, because they would fall in and couldn't get out, they would drown. And then sometimes I'd find them in a spot, as you say, all dried up. Eesh. Just all fossilized and brittle. Yeah. But bugs, I don't have very high tolerance for bugs. All bugs must die. By the way, there is a Tom Gully Show shirt. Is this the one? Does this say anything on the back of it? Let me see. No. There is a version of this shirt that says all bugs must die and has pictures of bugs with the circle and the line through it. Hold on just a second, kids. Him. Sorry, I didn't want you to see that. SG Fanboy says, when I got out on my own, at one time I had dozens of snakes at once. I never fed anything but mice and rats. Feeding a snake a hamster or gerbil feels wrong. Yeah. mummified lizards. Oh yeah, totally mummified. Just brittle and, who needs that? Who needs that crap? Not me. Not me whatsoever. By the way, well, never mind. Yeah. Yeah. But Gerbils, that Richard Gere story. I wonder how Richard Gere feels about that story, because I mean that story has been debunked a million times, and he was married to Cindy Crawford, and who's he married? He's married to some other smoking hottie now. I don't know. I just wonder how he feels about it. So somebody's got to have mentioned it to him. The doctrine says, used to find lots of them when I did flooring work in Florida. Oh, I'll bet. I mean, I'd get home and there'd be one on the ceiling. And and everybody just said, they just get in, man. They weren't big or anything. Let's see here. He totally did it. Who totally did it? But yeah, I just got used to it. Who cares? It's a gecko. The gerbils, just all that vermiculite and ripped up paper and just pee smell, and you got to tend to them. How affectionate can a gerbil be? Is a gerbil going to bark when someone's breaking into the house? I don't know. DJ. Read it yourself, people. I'm not going to read that. Hey, all you betas. Yeah. Karen Garvey says, I had 2 pet rats. They were awesome. I understand. We're still good. Red finger number 1. We're number 1. Oh, man. An alpha moo. Oh, God. Oh, brother. Karen. Oh, I already read that one. Jeez. I'm sorry. Yeah, but isn't it? I mean, Richard Gere's case, I don't think the story is that he did that. I think somebody else did that to him, and the gerbil, by the way. And by the way, is the Richard Gere story, is it a hamster or a gerbil? I've heard both. It would seem like if the details of the story are true, you would get that straight. Let's see here. DJ LOO. I can't see DJ's chat. Well, Karen Garvey, there is what he said. I don't think I'm going to read it. You can read it. I just found it very funny. Alpha. God, this is an alpha move. Oh boy, let's see here. Whoa, what's going on? Sorry. SG Family says, Dupa, I always feed frozen if possible. Had a few that wouldn't take. Yes, post-mortem. That's what I call those. I always heard it was a gerbil. Hamster fur being harder to clean, says Rumpled Trenchcoat. Okay, Gerbil. We'll go with Gerbil. That whole story, even when it first came out, it's like that, it makes no sense. The animal isn't going there. There's absolutely, The wolf says it was a gerbil, and there's been no actual report found. Yeah, it's been debunked a million years ago, and but it persists till this day, and I just wonder how he'd feel about that. But he's 70-some now, and he probably didn't give a damn. Probably didn't give a damn the first time he heard it. There is a picture of Gear holding a gerbil. I hope it's photoshopped or something, but that is not a David Carradine situation. Because that David Carradine story, if you'd have heard it, you'd have said, oh, come on, no way. But then they released all those pictures. This is the same thing, only they don't have any proof. You go, no way. And then, SG Fanboy says, you're telling me someone just made that up? Well, I guess. It might be one of those things that, like, it got started in a misunderstanding. I don't know. Wolf says, no, it's real, and he is smiling. Well, maybe he's maybe he's leaning into the joke. Who knows? Maybe he just didn't care. I think, especially at this point in his career, he doesn't really have to work. He's not working as much as he used to. Do you care? There's a lot of things, that if rumors were started about me right now, that became pervasive, popular culture, that could really bother me. If you gave me $10 million in a mansion, they would cease to bother me. Let's see here. Dude was laughing. I just read the Snopes article. Okay. Rumble Trenchcoat says, I read somewhere that Stallone started it after an on-set argument, but that might also be nonsense. Man, I don't know. Guy from InXX singer went out the same way as David Carradine. Now, that's what they're known for. I think that's what happened to Robin Williams, too. They just covered it up. Well, yeah. Michael Hutchins? Is that the name of the lead singer of InXS? Yeah, he went out the same way. Oh, yeah. Say goodnight, Gracie, everyone. Good night, Gracie. Hey, way to make them fancy pizzas. Julian Zeter says, I heard the Stallone thing too, and that the rumor spread through Hollywood by fax, when faxes were a thing. Well, we'll never know, because when faxes first came out, they were printed on fax paper. Eventually, they were printed on real paper. But at first, they were fax paper. And that's thermal, it's by heat. And that particular kind of paper, I was going through some stuff the other day. It fades away. So I had all these pieces of paper that were just little blotches of nothing. And Chester Bennington. Exactly. Julian Zeter says that rumor attached itself to a local Philadelphia news anchor, and it basically ran him out of town in the late 80s. Wow. And Chris Cornell. I don't know who either one of those people. And me, should anything happen? Wait, what? Yeah, it's, at what point do you? I mean, Richard Gere's got probably an incredibly well-established network of friends, business associates. he doesn't ever have to leave his house if he don't want to. And if he does want to leave it, he can go to exclusive restaurants, resorts, everywhere. Private limo. So what's he care? So what does he care? It's like some of these people, these multi-billionaires, you know. If you can give away $1 billion and still have many billions of dollars, I don't think you care what anybody thinks. Whoops, hey, whoa, hold on. The doctrine says, wow, step out to take a call and come back to small rodents exploring the dark side. Oh, he went all Marvel with me with dark side there. SG Fanboy says, Richard Gere has been to a few Diddy parties. Hey, and that's another thing. You're in Hollywood and you're just going to parties that people throw because you get invited, and your publicist or your agent or your manager says, go to this party. Then that person does a bunch of dumb crap and you're now on the hook for it. That sucks. The Wolf says, I would certainly hide if I kissed Julia Roberts. Doopa-doopa-doo. He should have pushed her out of the way and gotten Laura San Giacomo on that movie. Doopa says Robin Williams was dying from the brain disease LBD, Lewy body dementia, certainly, and committed suicide because there's no cure and didn't want him and his family to have to deal with it. I kind of get it. Yeah. Yes. Julia Roberts. I do like that movie, though. I do. I even like the Erin Brockovich movie she's in. Uh-oh. People are going to start outing Diddy party attendees. Julian Caesar says Howard Stern went to the Diddy white party, then spent the next week on radio complaining they wouldn't let him in the house to use the restroom, made him use a sorta potty. Well, I don't think you make Howard use a sorta potty. That's... SG Fanboy said, I bet that's what my family would tell people too. Darn autocorrect. Don't worry about it. Karen Garvey says, I just pulled a Debbie Downer. No, you didn't. No, you did not. No, you did not. The thing about the Lewy body dementia and all that stuff is he may have indeed had a well-founded need to protect his family from the long and unpleasant inevitability of the disease that he had. But you're also not thinking straight. You know, you have this just depressing, debilitating thing that starts affecting your mind, and you don't know what to believe. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on there. And you're probably being medicated or you're self-medicating. The Wolf says, I prefer to call them Recollets. Oh, Recollets. They do reek, man. Yeah. And why do I only go in one of those on the 20th of July or the 7th of August when it's 312 degrees in there? I don't care if you go in there and take a 30-second squirt. When you come out, it looks like somebody, you just did the ALS challenge, like somebody dumped a bucket of water on you. And they do reek, man. First thing in the morning. Even if it's just got that blue stuff in it. It's just... Well, hello, manufacturer of the blue stuff? Yeah, what's that supposed to be doing? It doesn't kill the smell. If that's what you're supposed to be doing, it's not working. I think the blue stuff is just, they just charge them for it. They're just like, well, we're going to rent you these 17 porta potties. Of course, you'll need some blue stuff. We'll get that out to you at $57 a gallon. Well, what's it made of? Don't worry about it. It's blue. Bob, order another case of that blue food coloring. That ought to run us $1.32. Anyway, Julian Caesar says, today on my bike workout, I passed a dozen portable potties and peed between two construction trucks. I value my olfactory nerves. Too much info, sorry. No, I've done the same thing. A friend of mine, when I was in high school, his dad was what they called a honey dipper. And his job was to go around all the, not just state parks, but other parks and campgrounds and things, and empty the outhouse, underneath the outhouse where all the crap and everything was, drain those, suck them up, suck it all up into a big tank and haul it on out of there. It's a honey dipper. Yeah. The Wolf says, always bring Pine Sol, paper towel, and your own toilet paper. And your own toilet, and a little riser so your ass doesn't have to touch the toilet seat if you're going that direction, which I don't recommend that you do. Squat, hover, use someone else's ass if you have to, okay? Karen Garvey says, are you driving through Philly traffic? Julian Caesar? Julian Caesar says, got to go through traffic to get to the empty roads outside the city. Yeah, that's the way it works. You go from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration, like most things do across a permeable or non-semi-permeable membrane. The legendary Rumpled Trenchcoat says, after 5 years, he got promoted and didn't have to use a straw anymore. Now, they gave him a plastic straw. Not to use the paper straw anymore. Yeah. Banachek. God, I love Banachek. The Wolf says the worst smell, having grease traps drained. Oh, grease traps. And it depends on what kind of restaurant, but I used to have to empty the grease trap at McDonald's, which would have all the egg and crap in there from the morning, just right in between the grills, just cooking all day, and then all the grease from the burger. Oh, God, it was bad. Oh, it was bad. The Doc Horn says, there's currently 120-ish porta-johns around City Hall levee, which will be there till Tuesday. They might just go ahead and make a levee out of porta potties. You know, just build them into the wall of the levee. Let the levee be the septic tank, so to speak. Star Mountain has arrived, and Star Mountain says, hiya, Tom and Chet. Hello, Star Mountain. Very good to see you, as usual. And, hey, guess what Friday's topic is going to be? Friday's topic, ladies and gentlemen, will be porta potties. It would be tomorrow's topic, but of course tomorrow's Thursday, and a Thursday meaning the internet sensation that's sweeping the nation. Overrated, underrated. All right, here we go. This says I'm late. Oh, Star, nobody's ever late to the Tom Gully Show. Not even me. People saying hi. Ricolette. Yes, Ricolettes. Metal porta potties? What? Hi, Star. People saying hi. We do have the most cheerful chat room on the internet, is verified by independent sources. People saying hi. Karen Garvey says overrated, underrated is fun. It is fun. It is. It's just a blast. Also requires me to do a lot less show prep. Julian Caesar says that he believes he has a picture on his phone of a porta potty floating down the river after a storm. Oh, I have no doubt of it. I bet you could find a photo of someone who took a porta potty, put it on its back, opened the door, and used it as a canoe. I'll bet you. Yeah. Rumble Trenchcoat says, overrated, underrated is very underrated. I couldn't agree more. We've only done it 3 times, though. The Wolf says, overrated, underrated is overrated. Not. Star Mountain says, they're too big and heavy to do that. Oh, really? Okay. I did not know. I mean, I've seen ocean liners. No, I'm kidding. I just assumed they were plastic and awful and you could float. Rumpled and Wolf. He just found the picture of the porta potty floating down the river after a storm. Star Mountain. You can't use porta potties as canoes. I tried. Well, they will work as toboggans. I know that. I saw that happen accidentally to somebody one time. But, man, there's nothing worse than, especially if you have to wait in a line to get into one, you know. And you get in there, you close the door, and it's just that heat just destroys you. You just sweat pouring down your face. Can't use them as canoes. And that blue water, and it's just that opening, and it's a plastic bag in there, and chunks of, it's, I saw it accidentally. Now, it was one of those deals where the porta potties were all up along the edge of a parking lot, and the parking lot had a slope. I think it might have been a YouTube video, and somebody goes in, it gets bumped, and it just tips over and goes down the slope. Like a toboggan. The Wolf says, can't imagine floating down the river in a Ricolette. I can imagine seeing that in a WNAP raft race. Somebody, probably with an outboard motor attached to it. God, it's Wednesday. Who mama? This week is going slow. Except, of course, for the show. Everything's going. Karen Garvey says, Tom, you saw someone using a porta potty as a toboggan? Well, not intentionally. They went into the porta potty, closed the door. The porta potty, somebody backed into it or something, and it got knocked over onto its back down a slope while they were trapped inside. So, yeah, that's what happened. Star Mountain says that could work on ice. It really could. That'd be a really shite canoe. True. Like an icy slope. That's right. The Wolf says, a redneck's John boat. Yes. I always love it when somebody would tell me they want me to go out to Geist Reservoir or somewhere, and they'd say, I got a boat. Really? Cool. And you get there, and the boat is a pontoon. And it's like, dude, this is not a boat. This is a deck with a motor on it. Well, what's the difference? The difference is if we're on a boat, we can go to the other end of the lake in about 15 minutes. Your thing to go to the other end of the lake, 15 days. You just wanted something that you could put cases of beer on. That's, not that I haven't had fun on pontoon boats, because I have. I really have. But I kind of like speedboats and stuff, Larger, faster, more mobile boats. Just me. That's just me. Oh boy, we're about to put a fork in this one. Hey, I would love to thank the people that helped us shatter our goal of any amount of money. And that would be Terry Nee with his generous donation and hilarious contribution of $1. And then Rumpled Trenchcoat has very generously donated $10. I say it every single time, and I'm going to keep saying it. If you have not listened to Rumpled Trenchcoat's podcast, which is freely available on YouTube, you need to go sign up, subscribe, and then look for one of the episodes, the title of it. And then go to, I think we said it was Tubi. You can watch those episodes free with ads. Watch one of the Columbo episodes that they've reviewed, and then listen to the episode. You'll be glad you did. You're welcome. Star Mountain, you're a man after my own heart. I like the boats you can sleep on. Same here. For many years, I used to go to Lake of the Ozarks with some friends on Labor Day, and we had about 5 speedboats. And we'd tie them all together at night, park in a cove, and then those seats clap down into beds, and it's just great. Sleep on or in, yes. And under the front, under the bow, you can get under there and sleep. Had a pontoon next to 3 Mile Island. Ooh, boy. Yeah, 3 Mile Island. Yowza. I want a houseboat, says Star Mountain. Yeah, those are nice. Terry says, I plan on falling asleep to RTC. Well, be hard to do because they do an entertaining show that you'll want to be awake for. But only thing about boats is they're just so damn expensive. You know, from the docking fee. I mean, don't get me started. Terry Nee, what year was that? Yes, Terry Nee. The Wolf says, I like power lounging on 2 torpedoes floating in the water. Star Mountain says, that sounds like a lot of fun. It was fun. God, it was fun. It was about 10 years ago. Well, they've cleaned up 3 Mile Island from then, you know. A nuclear half-life. It's only a couple thousand years. The Doctrine says, so do I, Star. That'd be a great thing to have while living in the bayou. It would be. If you're in one of those areas and you live there, yeah, they're great. Rumpled Trenchcoat says, my dad does that for real, Terry. It's pretty good to sleep to. So glad I sold it. Yeah. Yeah. A boat is something you want to rent. You don't want to buy it. Rent it for that week or that weekend. You're on the water and get rid of it. Make it somebody else's problem. Anyway. Wolf says, did you say hello to Marty in the Ozarks? I did not. I did not. Well, that old clock on the wall says it's just about time for me, like the Reverend Al Green, to get up on out of here. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Star Mountain say, I had the opportunity to sleep on a yacht for a week-long trip down the Mississippi. It was so fun. Band days. Yeah. Incredible. Terry, boat was fine when the kids were young. Exactly. It's like having a pool. It's great when the kids are young and people are using it. But, man, the second they're gone and it's just a big money pit full of water later. So many times I think you guys are joking, but then I go back and look it up and it's true. I gave a gully clock. I have a gully clock. Well, there you go. I'm thinking of putting one in my Jaguar, but I think that would be too much. Over-impress people. Hey, man, you guys are the best. I appreciate you showing up every night. Anything you can do to help grow this baby, please, I'd be grateful. Otherwise, flights, floats, or it's cheaper to rent. You got that right. Thank you, Stone Crab, by the way. Good to see you here. An old clock on the wall. I guess the only thing, a gully Glock. There ought to be a gully Glock. The gully Glocks currently are the Glock 34, the Glock 43X, and I use a 17 or 19, but I really prefer the 34 or the 43X. It's single stack. It's no printing. Wow, you have a Jaguar? I do. Bump stocks required. Yeah, you better have a bump stock. Know what you're doing. You don't need a bump stock. Anyway, I guess, and it's just a guess. The only thing left to say is overrated, underrated tomorrow night. Till next time, we'll see you next time.